Hello, my name is Kafui Dey. My guest is Mr. Bernhardt Ago Sowa Kuma, one of Ghana's greatest medical pioneers and revered as the father of orthopedics in Ghana. A message from our sponsor. Queuing for your favorite wache, we can accept it. If there's one thing that Ghanaians can relate with, it's queuing. Queuing for trotro, we can accept it. We adjust. We survive. In fact, if queuing was an Olympic sport, we would win gold. But one thing we can't accept, it's queuing to swap your MTN SIM. Swap your MTN SIM yourself in minutes. Visit the My MTN app or dial *1333# to get this done ASAP. No more standing, no more sweating, no more who be the last person. Do it yourself. Simply swap it everywhere you go. And now back to the conversation. Mr. Kuma, it's a pleasure to meet with you.
Thank you very much.
What does it feel to be 94 years old? What keeps you excited in life these days?
I understand the question, but I don't know what exactly you expect me.
I've never been 94 before. You were 94. I want to know what it's like to be 94.
I'm not as active as I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Let me go back to up to the age of about 30. There's a good balance between calcium being deposited into bone and calcium being reabsorbed. And up to about 30 years of age, more calcium is laid on the bones than reabsorbed. And therefore, some of the nerves which pass through the foramina get narrowed now. And you get symptoms from narrowing of those gaps in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be very irritating.
Okay.
And you start having symptoms in your lower limbs and upper limbs.
And for somebody who was very swift of foot back then, because you were an athlete when you were in school.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. It must be a little bit
It's annoying.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. But would you say you are happy right now?
I cannot complain.
Okay. When you were in your 30s and 40s, did you ever imagine, one day I could be 90 or 94?
No, it didn't occur to me.
At all?
No.
No. What does a typical day look like for you now?
Imparting knowledge to undergraduates and postgraduates as well at the medical school.
Which means you're still teaching.
Yes.
Awesome. What do you make of the students of the current generation?
What do you mean? What exactly?
How do you compare with the students you started teaching decades
Let's say
back?
50 years ago.
Yes. What's the comparison?
I think those younger, older ones were, I wouldn't say they're brighter than these ones, but they were more attentive.
Really?
Yes.
Is it that the current generation are more distracted, or they are not able to pay attention to what is being said now?
Well, I'm not making a comparison between the two, but 50 years ago, much smaller numbers we were dealing with as compared to now. the number of students has gone up.
Okay. 50 years ago, how many students were in a typical class?
Let's say about 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Mm.
And today?
You can double that or
Okay.
triple that.
Oh, okay. So it's a lot more work for the teacher.
Yes.
Interesting. What do you miss most about surgery?
Pardon?
What do you miss most about our performing surgery?
What do I
miss most?
Oh, I have left the operating theater duties to the younger ones. Yes. I don't miss it.
You don't miss it?
No.
Okay. You don't wake up from a dream where you were performing a surgery? You don't?
No.
At all?
No.
So, I mean, it's part of your life in the past and it's done and dusted.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I know you are a sports buff. I'm wondering, are you following the current FIFA World Cup?
World Cup?
Yes, the football.
Yes, I've been following it.
Yeah?
Quite religiously.
Okay. What has surprised you the most? Or which team has surprised you the most so far?
I was surprised to see Norway beating Brazil.
Yes.
Yes. It gave me a big surprise.
Did it?
Yes. Because I remember in the 50s looking at the Olympic Games. Yes. And then the brilliant Brazilian called Pelé.
Yes.
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 And I was surprised to see Norway beating Brazil.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a great game.
A great game.
Yeah,
Yes.
a great game. A great game. How do you feel about the performance of the team whose jersey I'm wearing right now, Black Stars?
I think we haven't got people of the caliber who've lost them. Griffin, for example. Yes. I remember him scoring a goal, I think in 1962, thereabouts, or 60, thereabouts, against Nigeria. And it was being labeled as Osajifo.
Okay. They gave him a nickname.
They gave him a nickname
Okay.
of Osajifo.
Nice.
This was on a Sunday. On a Monday, it came on the Ghana television and radio that Osajifo was meant for Kwame Nkrumah and nobody else.
So they quickly retired the name?
Yes.
Yeah, those are great players.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just haven't got that caliber of that nature. Yeah.
If you had to perform surgery on the Black Stars, where would you begin?
What do you mean?
Yeah, if you had to cut stuff off.
If it needs to be done, it will be done.
Does it need surgery? Do the Black Stars need surgery?
Not particularly, no.
They don't?
No.
Yeah. What's the magic key for improving the performance of our team?
I don't know. No.
Let's take it all the way back. I'm curious about some of your very earliest memories from when you were a little boy. What are some of the things that you remember most clearly from when you were very little?
I remember the year 1950 when the inter-college sports 5 secondary schools plus 2 teacher training colleges. And that was the year. It was done in Wesley College in Kumasi. And I remember winning the half mile on the Friday, and then the mile on the Saturday, beating the same infant spin boy called Shreko. I beat him. He was quite tall man, 6 foot, and I was only 5'7". Yet I was able to beat him. And I was relaxing and recovering for the relay when the headmaster of Infantsipim, he said, Welbeck, oh no, I've forgotten the name. But he came and congratulated me. Botsu was also there. This was in Kumasi. They all just wanted to shake hands with me and to say, well done.
Nice.
And I said, no. So let me recover. And,
for another race. Yeah.
W something Welbeck was the name. And he came to me and said, well done, Mama. I said, thank you very much, sir. He said, why didn't you come to Infantsipim? I said, I sat for your entrance exam, but I wasn't called for an interview. And they said, oh, you should have come and seen me.
Because, of course, you ended up at Achimota School.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. And at some point in time, you represented the Gold Coast as an athlete?
Yes.
Were you still in Achimota then?
Yes.
Okay. What event was that? And what? Yeah.
Athletics.
Okay.
3 miles.
Wow. Where did the competition take place?
Achimota grounds.
Okay.
Accra Sports Stadium was then being built.
Okay. What was your performance in that race?
I did the 3 miles. I didn't win, but Gold Coast beat Nigeria for the first time in 1952.
How fierce was the rivalry between Gold Coast and Nigeria back then in the 50s?
Oh, it was a keenly contest between the two.
So it appears that the rivalry that we have between Ghana and Nigeria stems from a way back.
Way back.
What was it like to beat Nigeria for the first time? Gold Coast back then in 52?
Gold Coast.
Yes, what was it like to beat them?
Nigeria, a bigger country, and for the Gold Coast to beat Nigeria was an achievement.
Was indeed. So great memories. I'm just curious, where were you born? You were born in 1932, 6th of March, 32. Where were you born?
Kolebu.
Okay. Right here in Accra. Yes. What are some of, do you have any memories from that time, Kolebu times?
What do you mean?
I mean, you were born in Kolebu, 1932. I'm trying to find out some of the very earlier memories as a boy, even before you went to secondary school or primary school, home environment, anything that you remember that still comes to mind.
Well, I remember not before. I went to Achimota School in 1948, and I represented Achimota School in athletics in 1949. I was practicing pole vaulting and I slipped. I was coming with my head. I stretched my left arm, got up, and it was broken.
Ooh.
And my mother took me to Kolebu within an hour from La to Kolebu. And my broken wrist wasn't done. This was on a Monday, 4th of January, 1940. It wasn't done until Thursday.
Wasn't there a lot of pain?
Of course there was. There was an Englishman who was a surgeon. During those days, the patients used to be charged fees. That I think because I was in secondary school, in Achimota for that matter, I wasn't charged fees.
Okay. So they treated you free of charge?
One?
You were treated free of charge?
Yes.
Was your wrist put in a cast?
Yes.
Okay.
It was put in plaster of Paris.
I'm curious about your parents. Who were they? What did they do?
My father was a civil servant. My mother was an ordinary housewife. And there were 7 of us. I was a third child, and we were 4 boys and 3 girls. We were well looked after by our parents. I always give a lot of credit to my father because elementary school, he was in standard 6 when his father died. And I think his mother looked after him. And I think the question of secondary school was literally out. And when he passed away in 1968, my senior brother and I, we got together. We said, well, look, let us, give our father a decent burial. Our youngest uncle, this is my father's youngest brother, called and he said, well, look, he was your father and he was our brother, but at the same time he was our father, because if it hadn't been for him, this initiative, he wouldn't have gone to secondary school.
Exactly. Did you grow up in the Korle Bu area?
No. What do you mean?
Because you were born in Korle Bu.
Yes.
But where was your family house?
Oh, La.
The family house was in La.
Yes.
Okay. What was growing up in the 30s like in La?
What exactly do you mean?
You were born in 32. So I'm sure some of your early memories would be as a little boy, 4, 5, 6.
Well, at the age of 4, I wanted to go to school.
4?
Yes.
Okay.
The schools started in January. And a test was conducted. I think 5 of us. And the whole class was around 19 or 20. And when the test was done, I came first. And the late La Manchanit would be 32. He was nearly 2 years older than me, and we did the same test. And the other teacher said, I go back, school name will be 32. It was so I was asked to put my hand
over to touch the other.
And it wouldn't. I was 4.
Yeah, you're too small.
Yeah. So he was taken, and I had to stay at home for another year.
Reflecting on this exam, would you know why they felt that was the way to determine whether a child should go to school?
No.
It's a very odd way of determining your size or what?
I don't know.
There was an earthquake in 1939.
39, yes.
Do you remember it?
Yes.
What are your memories of that earthquake?
Oh. I was then in, I think class 2. I just remember that the grounds were shaking.
You felt it in life?
Yes.
Okay. What was the general feeling? Panic? Did people understand what was going on?
Well, I think we were too young to understand. That's just so. And I think that I remember. Yes. But perhaps I didn't understand.
And what was going on?
I was
about 7 years old. Yeah. Yeah, about 7.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember whether any of the buildings were affected? Cracks or any? You wouldn't remember?
No.
So you're growing up around, so in the 40s, of course. Then there's this war in Europe. I don't know whether any of your family members ended up going to fight in the Gold Coast Army.
I think one of my uncles, but that is my grandmother's, my father's mother's big sister's son. Yes. He came and stayed with us in Dar. And we had we will still call it Tamale House.
Tamale House?
Yes. It's about nearly 1.5, no, not a kilometer from the Presbyterian Church.
In La?
Yes.
Okay.
And used to have relatives from my mother's side and also from my father's side, always in Tamale House.
Why was it called Tamale House?
Because my father was transferred to Tamale when he was civil servant. And he built, the smaller house was built in 1931, and then the big building was in 1935. I remember those.
Okay, so you were transferred to Tamale even before you were born?
Yes.
Okay, even before you were born. Okay. Talking of transfers, did you ever follow him on any of his transfers?
Retiree age from the civil service was 55. And he went to Tamale, I think in 1931. And then he was transferred back to Accra, and he was posted back to Tamale again in the early 50s, and that was where he retired.
Okay.
He retired.
Okay. Did your mother go with him when he was being posted?
Yes.
So then who looked after you?
Pardon?
Who looked after the children when your father and your mother went off to Tamale?
Oh, relatives.
Okay. Family. All right. What do you think you've learned from your parents that still stays with you?
He didn't tell me, but he indicated that it was a good thing to educate your children. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then all my 4 children went to Achimota school.
Just like you. Did your father go to Achimota school?
Pardon?
No, your father didn't go to Achimota. He didn't.
No.
Yeah.
He was 6
was
when his
6.
father died.
Exactly so. Yeah. How about your mom? What did you learn from your mother?
What exactly do you mean by
What values did you learn from her? I mean, your father didn't tell you directly, but he told you, you learned about the value of education, and so you were able to educate all your children. Is there any lessons you learned from your mother by the way she treated you or what she did?
don't understand exactly what you...
I mean, what qualities of your mother do you admire?
Looking after your less developed nephews and nieces. Yes. She was keen on looking after them.
Okay. Were there a lot?
Yes. I remember my grandfather, that is my mother's father. When I was a little boy, he lived in a house with aluminum sheets.
On the roof?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was my mother who encouraged the other relatives to help transform that into a concrete built house.
So she inspired them. She did. When did you know that you were going to be a doctor?
When?
Yes. Who inspired you? Or what are the circumstances that led to you becoming a doctor?
When we were even in elementary school, we used to have, I think, twice in a year, a dental surgeon coming to inspect, look after us in school.
Okay. Would this be a European person?
Pardon?
A European person or an African?
African.
Okay.
And I felt it was a good thing. I remember even when the earthquake in 1939, the dental surgeon would come along and inspect us for a whole week. Yes.
Just poking around in your mouth.
I will.
Are you surprised you didn't become a dental surgeon? Are you surprised that you did not become a dental surgeon?
No, I'm not surprised.
What made you? Well, you intimated earlier that Infantsipim didn't call you for their interview. Infantsipim didn't call you for the interview, so you didn't go there to speak to them. But you qualified for Achimota.
Yes.
Back then, was it a common entrance that you had to write?
No, we did. Each school, in actual fact, each school, secondary school, organized its own entrance examination during those days.
Okay.
An entrance examination to be followed by an interview. And I remember when I was being interviewed, the at government school now, My first question was, who's the British Prime Minister? I said, oh, Mr. Clement Attlee. Who preceded him as Sir Winston Churchill? Who came before Sir Winston Churchill? Mr. Ramsay MacDonald. At that time, I didn't even know who the Gamancha was.
But you knew everything about the British.
Second elementary school.
Yeah. I guess that's what colonial education does.
Absolutely.
They make you learn about the mother country, in quotes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So you breezed through the examination.
Pardon?
You passed.
Yes.
Yes.
And then my father got transferred to Tamale. That was where he retired. But his first, not his first transfer, but he also was transferred to Winneba in 1944.
Okay.
He took me along with him.
Oh, you lived in Winneba for a while?
For 2.25 years.
What was Winneba like? Some of the highlights. What were some of the things that you still remember that you enjoy?
No, I remember meeting the headmaster at that time. 23 years later, when I was back as a doctor, he came with his wife. His wife was being treated for a broken wrist. And then I remember his name, so I called his. So he got surprised and he said, "Oh, so you were also in Winneba."
Nice. When did you enter Achimota School? What year?
48.
Who took you to the school? No, the first day.
Oh, my father.
Okay. Is there anything he said on while you were going to school? Anything? Did he give you any advice?
No, well, I took the examinations for Accra Academy and Fansipim and Achimota. And Accra Academy offered me a place, and I was going to be going on a daily basis from La to Jamestown.
Right.
And I particularly did anticipate that, not anticipating that, but when I was in Osu school, one of the teachers who came from Achimota, and a cousin of mine, my mother's sister's son, and I were in the same school at Osu, and we went to visit this teacher who was a student teacher at Achimota, and I fell in love with the place.
What do you like about Achimota?
The buildings, the compound, the facilities. In fact, Accra Academy offered me a place. And I said to my father, no,
You're going.
go to Achimota.
Which of your teachers do you reckon had the greatest impact on your life at Achimota School?
I wasn't happy with the headmaster.
Why not?
Because when I was from 5, I was invited to join the Gold Coast team traveling to Nigeria.
Okay. As an athlete?
As an athlete. And he wouldn't let me go.
Did he give you any reasons?
No. He said to me, When I went and showed him the letter of invitations, he said, "Your father has sent you here to be educated, not to be running for the Gold Coast. Come on, get out of my office." And he kicked me out of his office. That was in 1951. This was an Englishman. And, when he came to Achimota in 1949. I was then in Form 3. And when he came, a brand new car has been bought for him. And the following year, 4 of the African teachers, the vast majority of the teachers, about more than 90% of them were Europeans. 4 African teachers applied to be given loans to buy cars, and they were all rejected.
Oh,
We can say that again and again. The Beza was an Englishman. The hospital lady, or the nurse in charge at the hospital, was an English woman. And the one in charge of cooking for us students was also an English lady. In fact, when we were all doing school certificate exam, when the school was taking an exam, every all the Form 5 boys, the school itself was having an exam. One of the students wasn't feeling too well. We went to the hospital, and the matron of the hospital, or the nursing in charge, an English lady, threw him out. They thought he was
play acting?
Exactly, dodging the exams. 3 days later, John disappeared.
Oh no.
He was quickly put in a car and sent to Kolebu, where he was admitted. 5 days later, he was dead.
No way.
Yes.
It appears the Europeans didn't treat the Africans too nicely.
No. It depends on. Frederick Gordon Gisberg, to me, was a great man. He acquired the land and had Kolebu established or built. He also got Achimota School established. Next year, Achimota will be 100 years old.
Exactly, in 2027.
27. And Kolebu Teaching Hospital is perhaps the 3rd well-established hospital on the continent of Africa. I think we should be looking after our products better than we are doing now.
Indeed.
That is, the young doctors passing out and the young nurses also passing out of the nursing training college.
Indeed. I'm curious, what kind of student were you at Achimota?
What
were your favorite subjects?
Science subjects. Chemistry, physics, and biology.
You loved them?
Oh, yes.
Did you do poetry and music and any of those other non-science subjects as well? Did you enjoy some of those subjects?
Well, I enjoyed them, but I wasn't taking an active part.
What would you say are some of the things that Achimota has left in your life? Things that you've learned from your experience there as a young boy.
It was before the school was established. Gordon Gaggisberg had formed a committee to look at the issue of bringing up teenage boys and teenage girls together, on training them or on the same compound. And the recommendation was do not. But when he got Frazier and said, well, this is what the committee had recommended. Do not bring up, educate teenage boys and teenage girls on the same compound. But you go and do what you think is right. So it was Frazier's idea to have boys and girls on the same compound.
So co-educational.
Exactly. It's got advantages and disadvantages.
What are some of the disadvantages?
Well, look, I was very popular with some, I think about 4 or 5 girls each time we were having athletics.
4 or 5 girls?
Yes. Very fond of me.
You knew them very well?
Yes. And the referee of this football match was interested in one of those girls.
Who was interested in you?
Pardon?
Some of those girls who liked you?
Exactly. And I had a clash with the goalkeeper, broke my leg, my right leg. When these girls had come to watch.
Yes, of course.
When the match, football match was over, he went into his car and drove off. And he left me.
With your broken leg?
Yes. It was my classmate who carried me on his back.
Wow.
From the field to the, funnily enough, we were all in the same house.
Did the girls accompany you?
No.
They just liked you for your prowess. And when you broke
and
your
the
leg,
girl and the boy who carried me on his back,
yes,
he became the first pilot. Thomas Ajari.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he was my classmate. And he also carried me to the hospital the next day.
Good man. A good man.
Yes. We happened to be in the same house where I got admitted with a broken leg.
Broken leg.
Yes.
I'm just curious. Have you broken other parts of your body?
I've broken my wrist.
Left wrist?
Wrist, 49. And also broke my leg. At 49.
Same year?
No.
No, okay.
This was in 53. This was in 49.
49. Okay. Do you think your broken limbs could have contributed to you becoming an orthopedics?
No, I don't think so.
Did you know that you were going to go to medical school after Atwater School? Did you know that you were going to go to medical school and become a doctor?
Well, I didn't know. But the scholarship at that particular time in 1954 for 8 students and 10 of us, mainly from Achimota and then Cape Coast schools, that is Fansipim, Adisado, and St. Augustine's. And 10 of us were interviewed.
For the 8 spots?
No, not in sports.
No, for the 8 availability. There were 8 vacancies.
Scholarships.
Okay. And there were 10 people fighting for the 8 scholarships. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And the people who carried out these interviews recommended that all 10 students who had been interviewed should be given scholarships.
Okay.
I think it's only one person who has never come back to Ghana to practice.
Well, the rest of you came back to Ghana. Okay. So where did you have your medical training?
Pardon?
Where were you trained? Where did you go to medical school?
I did my pre-clinical in Bristol.
In the UK?
And then my clinical subjects in London.
going to UK for your education, was that the first time you had traveled abroad?
Absolutely.
How did
No. I have traveled
to Nigeria?
to Nigeria.
Okay. By boat or by road
We went by road.
to Nigeria?
Yes,
But
we by road. We went and slept in Dahomey, now called Benin.
Yes.
Yes. We spent the night there. We went by road.
Okay. Back in the day, did you have problems with customs and people stopping and getting down and paying money to drivers and things back then?
No, not really. It was actually a school vehicle. Yeah, there were, I think about 20 of us traveled to Nigeria.
Okay.
To compete with the King's College in cricket, and then athletics, and then traveled also to Ibadan.
Okay. So after Achimota School, I understand you taught for a while, correct?
Yes.
Tell me about that. What's the story kind?
Well, there was a school in Akropong Akwapim called Livingston College. And 5 of us, our all classmates, were employed. We taught in that school for a year, the whole of 54. And it is from this school that Okwapeman grew up.
So that's the genesis of Okwapeman.
Yes.
Livingston College.
Livingston College.
Okay. What subjects did you teach?
Chemistry and biology.
Your subjects? Yeah. Did you enjoy your time as a teacher?
Very, very much so. My big sister's husband was in teaching in Akropong
Oh, okay.
Training College. So I lived with them.
You must have been good times.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the products of my...
Oh, okay. Indeed. And the environment, very green and nice. And then from that experience, then you set off to the UK.
Yeah.
How did you get to the UK from Gold Coast?
By air.
Ah, okay. First time in an airplane?
Yes.
How did that feel?
Right.
What were your feelings when you were getting on the plane?
I didn't mind.
Was this a direct flight?
Yes. Oh no, we stopped in. I've forgotten the name.
Casablanca?
Casablanca.
Okay, in Morocco.
Morocco.
Okay. And then continued to the UK. Okay. What surprised you most when you touched down in the UK?
I don't know.
Did you have any culture shock? I mean,
No.
You were not expecting any surprises?
No.
No?
No.
Mm-hmm. So how did it work? Your plane touched down where in the UK before you went to Bristol?
Heathrow.
You went to Heathrow, London. Okay. With the trip from Gold Coast to UK, was it with the other people who had passed and gotten the scholarships, or it was just you traveling?
There was one who was doing his was doing in agriculture. Yes, we traveled together.
Okay. What was Bristol like? What was the education like there?
I mean, I think Bristol was one of the major slave trade centers. Got it. White Ladies Road, Black Boy Hill.
Really?
Yes. White Ladies Road, the main road. Then on top there, Black Boy Hill. And then the hall for students was also built on that same compound near Blackboy
Mm-hmm.
Wills Hall.
Okay.
Mm.
How did the British citizens treat you, the Africans?
Well, depending on the area of subjects,
Mhm.
there were 54 of us, both the English boys and 4 of foreigners.
Mhm.
And doing medicine. And I think in Britain during those days and those who preceded us in the United Kingdom, there were some areas, for example, in Edinburgh, as a scholarship or a ceremony was conducted on a yearly basis of the best student in medicine. And on one occasion, when a West Indian was the top one, it wasn't given.
A Black West Indian.
Yes.
Hmm. Could you feel that you were being discriminated against sometimes?
Yes.
You could feel it?
Yeah. There was one occasion, you see, when you dissect a part of a body, you invite one of the teachers, and we had 54 students plus 8 teachers. One of them was the main professor. And on one occasion, we invited one teacher on 3 occasions. The third occasion, and then we will give you a mark. And then at the end of the third visit, the other students, there were 4 of us, they said, "Have you something against this teacher? You've been the best in the past, and yet he's giving us the same mark." Mm.
Were you able to protest?
No, to protest, no. Even at the even when I went back to do my postgraduate, I met an English contemporary of mine who had been struggling for 6 years to pass the fellowship examination, an Englishman. I remember one of the questions one examiner asked me, he said, "You are in one of the remote parts of Africa, and you're going to operate on somebody, and you want to find out whether his kidneys are functioning. A remote part where the facilities are limited." So I said, "I'll use litmus paper." And then his reaction was that, "No, use litmus with specific gravity." And a specific gravity is different from a litmus paper. You can buy it anywhere.
Yes.
And when the exam, black part was, so the examiner said, "Are you hungry?" I said, "No, I'm not hungry with you, but I'm upset." So when the 20 minutes period was over, the other examiner said to him, "What have you got against this man? Is it because he's a black man? He speaks English even better than you do." I remember when I came back on my second trip, I was recommended to be examining at the West African College of Surgeons examination in Ibadan. I examined there for 40 years.
40?
For 40 years.
40?
40, yes. My last trip was in 2019.
Wow.
I was invited in 1979. One Englishman came along to observe the examination. And at the end, it used to take, we were examining in Ole Ibadan. Recently, Accra and Abuja have become also centers of examination. But at that particular, this must have been in the early 80s. He came to Ibadan, and at the end, he addressed the Court of Examiners. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you're doing a wonderful job. We in England, we haven't got to where you are. You must And that was his impression. And whilst I was in the United Kingdom in the early 70s, there was a good surgeon. I wasn't in his unit, but I used to visit his unit once a week. And after about 6 weeks, he called me and said, "You got more knowledge to pass this exam. But remember, it's like a club. You want to join the club, you haven't been invited."
No.
Exactly. Later on, I checked up on him. He was teaching in one of the London colleges. And he was such a good teacher. The students would all come to him. And when a post became vacant, the other consultants got together and said, "Oh, no, we can't allow this man." And they didn't employ him.
Wow.
Yes.
An Englishman?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
An Englishman.
Apart from the racism that you experienced, what are some of the other challenges you face as a medical student in the UK?
I don't know.
Did your money come on time?
Oh, yes.
Because in current times, you hear of stories of students on scholarship who are not getting their monies paid, and then there are problems. But in your time,
no,
money came on time.
Money came on time.
Were you allowed to work, even though you were a student, to earn some extra money?
No, I didn't particularly want to work.
Okay. Any reason why?
I didn't see why I should be working whilst I was being paid regularly.
Would you say the money was enough to...
Oh, it was enough.
It was, huh?
It was.
How much was it back in the day? Do you remember?
Almost £30 a week. A month.
A month. What could £30... And this is in the 50s, right?
Yes.
Well, what could £30 buy?
I don't know what you mean.
What were your living expenses? I mean, if you were giving £30 a month, were you able to save?
Yes. And pay your rent.
And buy a beer or two.
And
buy a beer or two.
Yes. I don't know what the situation is now. But when my second trip, Yes, I remember this examiner, not examiner, but a teacher was saying, he said, "You're good enough." But it's like a club. You want to join this club.
You have to be.
You haven't been invited.
6th March 1957, Ghana became independent. Were you in the UK when we were independent?
Yes.
What was that like? Were you following events back in Ghana while you were in the UK?
Well, you could read some of the newspapers will make publications.
Yes, yeah. And the independence fell on your birthday. So it's,
So it's my birthday.
yes.
6th of March. Oh, well.
How did you feel about independence back then?
I have still got my, what do you call it, passports? About 5 of them, old ones.
Yes.
The first one I had in 1955.
Gold Coast passport.
Gold Coast passport. No. British
pass. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. You had British passports because you're a British citizen.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You still have those documents?
Yes.
Which meant that because you entered Britain
as a British
citizen, but you finished school as a Ghanaian.
Yes.
How did you get? What was the document you used to come back to Ghana?
Oh, I had it renewed.
Okay.
At the Ghana embassy.
All right. And they gave you a Ghana passport.
Yes. And I've got 5 old ones.
These are for the records.
Yes.
Yes. What changed after? Because you were away for how long when you went to the UK for the first time?
I went in 1955 and I came back in 1963 after my house job.
Yes. What changed? And were you able to visit Ghana while you were a student?
I didn't.
You did at all?
No.
So you spent a lot of time away, maybe 8 years?
Yes, nearly.
What changed? What are the changes that you saw which were really evident when you came back to Ghana? You left in the 50s, you came back in the 60s, early 60s. What changed for you?
I don't understand.
What did you see that had changed? Because it was not the same Ghana that you left. I mean, you left Gold Coast, you came back as Ghana, and you came back into Ghana.
When I came, but the first station I was thrown at was in Kolebu.
Straight to Kolebu?
Yeah.
Okay.
First, I came in 63 in November, and I started working January of 64. All the senior people were foreigners, Indians and Sri Lankans. And we then were using the CD we had.
Yes.
Correct. And if you brought in a $1, you want to change into CDs, you got 68 pesos.
The CD was that powerful?
Of course.
$1 would give you 68 pesos?
Yes. I remember that. Because one of my colleagues were about the same age group. He came in 65, and I remember him very well. He's passed away now. But $1 got 68 pesos. I don't know what is this now.
It's now around 12 CDs. $1 will give you 12 CDs.
12 CDs?
Yes.
Well,
I've come a long way from 68 pesos.
I think so politicians who have let the rest of the country down, with the exception of Kwame Nkrumah. Was a great man.
He was?
He was a great man. I didn't vote for him, but looking back, he was a great man. He brought about the creation of the dam at Akosombo. When I was growing up, electricity was only available from 6 p.m. to midnight and then off.
They cut the light, the power off after midnight.
Yes.
Wow. So the power went on shift.
Kwame Nkrumah.
Did you ever meet him personally?
I saw him once. He came to Achimota. He himself was he went to school in Achimota.
Yes. He came there when you were a student?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the teachers was his contemporary. So he brought him there. And we were having lunch when he came and waved to us.
Really?
A classmate of mine who had then become an engineer, he was working with the Volta. He shook hands with him. But I saw my classmate not about a couple of years ago. He's still alive.
I'm just curious. The class that you graduated. You are the class of 1954, correct? Achimota School.
53.
53.
No, we did O level in 51.
Well, okay, and then A levels
in 53.
Of your classmates who did the O levels, are you still in touch with any of them?
Yes. But not many of us. We were in that 51 class. We were about 72, 73. Achimota was less than, the whole school was less than 1,000. I don't know what it is now.
Yeah, a few thousands.
We were less than 1,000. The whole school.
Wow. In the class of 51, we were about 70, 71.
72, 73.
How many of you are still alive?
At least I know of about 5 or 6.
Alive. Let's come to medicine now. I'm curious about your first experience inside an operating theater. When was that?
64.
Okay. Came back to Ghana.
In Ghana?
Yes.
No. And I was posted to Adidume in 1965. And I had seen some instruments being used, but I had never seen them used. And on one occasion, a lady was brought in, that is in Adidume. There were only 2 of us, an American and me. A lady, I was on duty, and we alternated to attend to emergencies. This lady was brought in, and with the upper limb of the baby sticking out. So, and the midwife said to me once, he said, "Doctor, I think she has ruptured her uterus." So he strengthened my hand to open up. And I removed the arm, removed the rest. And she was right. There was a tear in the uterus. And for half an hour, I was trying to close that tear. The only alternative was to remove a part of the uterus, which I did. And I was able The next morning before running a clinic, I went to visit to see how she was. When I got to the ward, she wasn't in bed, and I panicked. I called the nurse. I said, "Where's Cecily?" He said, "Oh, she was sitting down eating her plant."
Full recovery. If you can eat a plant, you're recovered. Was that like your first major operation?
Yes, and my wife was in Coligono. She was living in her father's house whilst I was alone, and I saw her every other week.
Mhm.
Every other week. And our first son or first child was also born on one of my trips from Adidome to Accra. He's been in Australia for nearly 20 years. See, we're not looking, the country, politicians are not looking after our products.
Mhm.
The only hospital which has been built in the Greater Accra area is the one near Teshinua. Lakma is the only
Public hospital.
and we not looking after, in fact, but from class 1 to standard 4, not standard, from class 1 to class 3, standard 1 to standard 3, standard 4 to standard 7. It was Kwame Nkrumah who brought it down from 10 years to 6. And when I was in Adidome, there were 2 people I would always visit. One was called Professor Bedu. He's passed away. And the other one was called Newman. He's also passed away. And I went and told Newman and I were married to sisters. Told him about this story of the arm stick. He said, "You did the right thing."
Yeah.
And Bedu must have been exceptional. He was 11 years my senior in Achimota. I didn't meet him. No. But I worked, when I came back from Adidome, he was the one I worked with.
How long did you spend in Adidome?
1 year.
Okay. And from Adidome, where was your next post?
Kolebu. Okay.
So when you walked into Kolebu, how many orthopedic surgeons were there?
There was this Ceylonese, and then the Indian, and then a Ghanaian called Keji Kosa. They were the only 3.
By then, had you decided to become an orthopedic surgeon?
Yes.
You had. Okay. Why?
Oh, I had the experience was in England during my student days. I enjoyed staying with the orthopedic surgeon, being taught, and I found it exciting.
When I go home today and my teenage son asks me, who did I interview? I'll say I interviewed an orthopedic surgeon. And if he asks me, what does an orthopedic surgeon do? Break it down for me. And he's understanding.
With bones and joints.
You deal with bones and joints.
I learned. I mean, our predecessors, the surgeons, you had to do emergencies of various types as a general surgeon,
right?
Including even removing blood clot from the brain.
Really? Okay.
I assisted my boss, that is Professor Beiru, on 4 occasions within 1 year. But we had no neurosurgeon.
Yeah. So you're going into brains.
You had to do that to save the patient's life.
You touch brains?
Yes.
What does it feel like? What does a brain feel like?
Oh, there's a black clot for an accident. You got to go and remove that black clot.
Is it delicate work?
Yes.
Have you been scared before?
When I went back in December 1969, just a couple of weeks before Christmas. 1972, I was working in a hospital when this problem arose. Somebody had bled into his brain and the blood clot had to be removed. So I rang up the boss. He came, he said, "Get on with it."
Go ahead.
And I did it.
How long did it take to remove?
1.5 hours.
And you're on your feet all the time?
And the next morning, I visited the patient. He had recovered. So when the boss came, he said, "Have you seen him?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Yes, I've seen him. He's able to talk." He said, "Oh, he had just seen the patient." I said, "That's your first time?" I said, "The first time on my own." I had assisted my boss in doing 4. And then he said to me, he said it was his 7th who survived. 6 people gone.
What does a surgeon feel when you perform a surgery and you come back the next day and your patient doesn't make it? How does that make you feel?
I don't know. I don't know. I saw a patient here before I went to Adidome. I was 64. And I suggested to my Indian and Sri Lankan that this thing has been complicated. So he said, "How many have you seen?" I said, "I haven't seen many, a few. Somebody with a fractured pelvis." And after 1.5 weeks, the condition hadn't changed. So I said to them, my boss said, "My complicated by so A, B, C, and D. How many have you seen?" I said, "Not many." 4 days later, the patient died. Postmortem was done, and I was right.
Ooh.
And
what did your boss say, though?
He said, "How many have you seen?" I said, "I haven't seen. This is the first one, but it's taking too long a time."
Yes.
Yeah.
Those early days when you were in Kolebu, what were some of the biggest challenges you were facing? For example, what kind of technology were you using as surgeons?
What do you mean?
What was the equipment that you have enough equipment to do your work? Or were you improvising as you went along?
I don't understand.
For example, was the power stable? You need power for surgery. Were there times where the power will go off in the middle of a surgery?
In Kolebu, no problem.
No problems at all. How about Adidume? Was power stable there?
We had a hospital. There was a hospital there, and we had a power generator. If an emergency needed to be done, turn on the
So no problems there.
Yes. In fact, Kwame Nkrumah's finance minister, FWK Ugoka, his house was less than a kilometer from the school. He was enjoying the electricity.
The power.
But now there's a secondary school there.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What was a normal working week like this early days when you were in Kolebu? How busy were you? How busy? How many surgeries were you performing in a week or in a day?
There were about 5 senior people, senior surgeons. I was a junior one. And when you have an emergency, you call him if it's your emergency duty day. I remember West African College of Surgeons was we meet once a year. They were meeting, I think, in Nigeria. The one who was supposed to be on duty, he was acting. He wanted to be he was practicing as a pediatric children's surgeon. So he wasn't too keen on seeing adult patients. And an adult patient was brought in. He had been shot by a stray bullet. He had been hit by a stray bullet. He was called. He never turned up. The next morning, the patient was dead. So the doctor on administrative duties organized an investigation. Within a fortnight, this was military had taken over. Lieutenant General Ankara sent for the doctor to the castle. So when he got there, so Ankara's immediate action was, what is it you want to do? Which the patient is dead. What are you getting?
Exactly.
So, but the man needed to be punished.
Yes.
For not coming.
Was he?
Wasn't punished. That was the end.
He went back to work.
He
went back to work.
Yes.
In your career, what are the most common surgeries that you perform?
Look, let me give you this example. Elderly patients break their hip bones. When I say elderly patients, people in the 70s, 80s, and so forth and so on. Up to 1931, before I was born, out of these patients were being treated non-operatively, and 70% of them were dead within 1 year. Until a man called Smith Peterson, an American but of Danish extraction, got his colleagues round, said we must operate on these elderly and get them up and about quickly. The death rate dropped from 70 to between 20-25%. Has remained so ever since.
It's remarkable.
Yes.
Are the elderly people getting the hip fractures from falls?
You trip and fall down and you break your hip. And if it is operated on, depending on, I won't go into details, but you can either fix it with a pin and plate, or you remove the head and put in a metallic head. Now, I said the mortality had dropped from 70 to between 20-25%. Have you heard of the name Akwaje Park?
Yes, indeed.
Akwaje's big brother, or Akwaje himself, The sister also fell and broke her hip. This was way back in 1984. And the one doctor who looked after her sent the x-rays to me. So I made I was then alone. All the others had left. And she wasn't being brought in. So I went to see her. And I met Akwaji's big brother. And I said, well, look, I've reserved a bed for her. She is not being... He said, oh, we'll look after her at home.
How?
I just walked away. This lady survived at home for 11 months. But the big brother, who was a teacher, he had some abdominal problems. He came to Kolibu and was admitted. Yes. But you wouldn't allow your sister.
The hip. Do you get to see a lot of these motorbike crash victims in your practice?
Yes.
Okada motorbikes.
Exactly.
What are the most common injuries that you have to deal with?
Either as an accident, for example, putting your hand on the window.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dangerous thing to do.
When you're driving?
Yes.
Why?
When there's an accident, either your elbow is hit from another vehicle. Yes.
So you see a lot of those accidents?
Well,
injuries.
I wouldn't say we see a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but we do see them.
Mm. How about the motorbike crash victims?
Any bone can be broken, either in your lower limb
Mm-hmm.
or your upper limb.
What's the most complicated surgery you've performed, which was successful?
I don't know what you...
Somebody comes
I told you I've done the
brain ones.
The brain
Yeah.
one. That was in Britain.
Yeah.
And
The clots.
all the young doctors were... if you know Britain, it's in Buckinghamshire.
Mm-hmm.
This woman, they bow down to me. They bow down. You've come and our big bosses, big people haven't been operating. They've been sending these cases.
Who was bowing? They were bowing at you?
Yes.
Okay.
Bowing to me.
For the good job.
Exactly.
That's it.
No, at that time, I was invited to a meeting by the British Medical Association. I represented the Ghana Medical Association. And I met a neurosurgeon. In 1971, Britain had only 8 neurosurgeons. And I worked in another hospital. In fact, I attended an interview. The first question which was thrown at me was, do you know Professor Lane? I said, yes, I know Professor. There are 2 professors. They're brothers. One is a pathologist. The other one is a botanist. Who was Noguchi? This was a question.
Was it they were asking you?
Asking me. Noguchi. I said, Noguchi was a Japanese American. He came to the Gold Coast doing research work in yellow fever. He traveled to Nigeria to collect data. He came back 4 days later. He was dead in 1928, long before I was born. So I asked the man who was questioning me, have you worked in the Gold Coast? Have you been there before? So it's not for you to be asking questions when it is time for you to yes. The next morning, the next day, I received a telephone call from another hospital. I said, "Why did you get my telephone number?" It was this man who gave me my number. And I went and worked in that hospital. I passed the exam on my second attempt, and I put in my resignation. And the senior ones didn't enjoy, but I kept going there. Every year I would go and spend about 6 to 8 weeks doing. In fact, it was my son who is now in Australia. It was on one of those trips I bought a textbook recommended for his particular year called Things Fall Apart, written by Chinua Achebe. Those were I bought that book for him. I spoke to him last week. He spoke to me. He still communicates with
you. Is it true that at some point in time you were the only orthopedic surgeon in Korle Bu?
For 7 years, yes.
How did that happen? Where did they go?
To go and look for money. Middle East.
Why didn't you follow them?
I was. And my daughter stopped me.
We credit her for stopping you.
Pardon?
She stopped you?
Yes, I was going to go away for a year. When I told her, I said, "Who's going to look after me?" And I never went.
That's it. Power of a woman.
There she is.
What was that like, working alone for 7 years?
Well, the uni was a mixture of Ghanaians, Europeans, and Asians. And every morning I would pass through the accident center, see what problems there are. I was able to carry on.
This is from which year to which year?
I had the first one called Lawrence Appiah. I think he came in 1989. When the medical students voted me being the best teacher of the year.
Yeah. I must imagine that your day would start very early. I mean, if you're the only orthopedic surgeon in the whole of Korle Bu.
Before 7 o'clock, I was there. You see, we must ask, the politicians must, for example, if you go to the United States, and you are qualified to work there, you have certain privileges, insurance-wise, to be able to buy a house at a cheap rate, to buy a car. And we've got a few of the young doctors. At least I know I work with one whose wife has been stuck there for about 15 years. They've got 2 children. They are all there. And as I keep saying, Lekman Hospital is the only hospital in the Greater Accra region which has been built within the past 50 years.
Not good enough.
Not good enough. Yet the population of Accra has been growing. And within the next few generations, Achimota School, or where Achimota is, used to be like a strange forest.
Yes.
Now it's
Part of the town.
part
Of the town, yeah. So population explosion. How did you deal with, were there days that you felt overwhelmed when you were the only orthopedic surgeon?
No, I
You
didn't.
never felt overwhelmed? How do you deal with work? Because there would be a lot of work.
Well, if the work has to be done, it has got to be done. Full stop.
You never experienced burnout?
As I said, where I was working in Buckinghamshire, somebody with a knife thrown into his chest, and I called the thoracic surgeon who was functioning in the area, and he had, I think, 4 hospitals. When he came, I assisted him to open the thorax. Unfortunately, we didn't save the patient's life. And on his way out, he said, next time you open the thorax before you send for me.
Mr. Kuma, I want you to take us to the operating theater. Have you opened up somebody and found like a foreign object inside their body? Maybe like a bullet or something. Somebody's been shot, and any strange things that you've encountered?
Look, there is this hospital in the United Kingdom, Essex, if you know Britain. And I was visiting that a 2-year contract, but 1 year I resigned because I didn't want my 2 children to be moving schools.
Yeah.
So they came in 1970, and I brought them back in 73. 74, I passed my exams. So I came, instead of working up to 75, I came back, but I was going back there. And I sent the eldest, the one who is in Australia. His son has also become a doctor. And during those, before he became a doctor, they had a holiday and I sent him to this hospital. They said, when he got there, they said, it's because of you that Mr. Kuma left us, resigned, and went back.
Children, yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
In actual fact, on one occasion, you know, when I got in there in December 69, and I rented a house in the northern part of London. The area was called Winchmore Hill. And there he was going, 2 of them were going to different schools. And he, the one in Australia, now was then about 7 years old. And he and our neighbor, they were going to school together. And after about 4 or 5 months, the mother of that English boy said to my wife that, no, we will alternate. She had a car. I didn't have one. Pardon me. So she said, when I will do it on a weekly basis. 1 week you will do it, the following week I will do it. And I didn't have a car. And I went to a motorist on a Wednesday. I was in a hospital, another hospital. And he said, well, no, in 6 weeks' time. I said, I want it relatively early. From there, I went to my bankers. When I went to my bank, I said, I want a loan of £300 to buy. I said, oh, what is it for? I told him. And he said, oh, fair enough. This was in 1972. He said, "Oh, we've had an account here since 1958. You can..." Sunday, the motorist dealer said to me it was 6 weeks. Saturday when I came, he had already got me a car.
What type?
Oh, it was a French car.
Citroen?
Pardon?
Citroen? Renault?
Yes,
Renault.
Renault. And so when I got there, he said, "There is the car." And I gave him a check, and I drove the car home. But you see the point. The English lady knew that I didn't have a car.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so she wanted...
You should be making the moves. Crazy. Crazy. What's the impact of your career on your family? You were just talking about how you didn't go to the Middle East because your daughter said, "Hey, don't go," and then you had to make some other moves to cut short your stay in the UK because of your children. Looking back, has it been worth it? The impact of the career on your family?
The vice chancellor, on one occasion, when I was coming back after my holiday trip, I got onto the plane only to discover that there was no empty seat. So I got out and I wrote to the dean. I said, "Well, look, this is my problem." And I eventually came back. But before I got back, he had told the vice chancellor that I had overstayed my trip. And the vice chancellor wrote a nasty letter to me. But it is because it was when I was going, the vice chancellor, another vice chancellor, came to me, pleaded with me. He said, "If you go, they won't recognize our degree any longer." So, but she is, when I told her, she was then what, about 10. This is about 40. Who is going to look after me?
That was the end. Do you regret not going to the Middle East sometimes?
To go and make money, yes. But it is because of what? The way she responded.
Yeah. So family is important, I guess. Family is important, I guess.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I visited my mommy once. She was then about between 3 and 4 years old. And when I got home to my house, my mommy was complaining. She said, "Oh, they've sent a notice, Accra City Council, and that if a certain amount of money is not paid in, they will auction our house." So the following day, I went and gave her the money.
That's it. That's it. Before we talk about your role as a teacher and a mentor to so many surgeons, I want to take us a little bit to the operating theater. So back in the days when you used to operate, what was the atmosphere like if you're about to go do a very difficult operation? What's the feeling like?
I don't understand.
How do you prepare for a difficult operation?
Look. I had a patient who was having a lot of backache during sexual intercourse. She wasn't married. She was going to get married. And one of those trips in England, I learned a certain method of dealing with that particular problem surgically. So when I came back, I did that operation on her. She stayed in hospital for about a month, 6 weeks. She went home. 18 months later, I was in my clinic and she came and she said, "This is the baby I've got. My pain has disappeared." Another person, I don't think he has been very. Akwesi Sapon.
Akwaku Sapo. Agogohini.
Pardon?
Agogohini.
Agogohini.
Yes.
He was also my patient.
Mm.
He came also complaining of pain. Then I examined him, gave him some medication. Said, "Let's see you in a month's time." He came back. He said, "My pain is still." I said, "No, we're going to do a test." This was in 1984. We'll inject a certain dye and take some x-rays. Say, "We're going to put a dye in my back." No. He walked away. 18 months later, I was doing a clinic and he appeared on the scene. He said, "Mr. Kuma, the operation you were going, the test you were going to do, this was during Rolling Stone. We went on a trip to Germany. My pain, backache came. I was seen by a doctor, and what you were going to do, which I objected to, was exactly what he did. And I'm come to show you the pictures." I kicked him out of my office.
That's it.
I've never seen him since.
May he rest in peace. Do surgeons feel fear when they are working?
I don't know about others.
How about you?
I don't know.
You don't feel fear?
I remember, we used to travel to Nkwanta in the upper Volta region. And I remember one patient with a leg. I was going to operate on his, and I gave him instructions. I said, an hour before he was put to sleep, I said, "When you wake up, you will find your arm in a sling, plaster of Paris, and all I want you to be doing was to be doing this." 5 minutes before he was put to sleep, again, I said the same thing. I finished the operation within 1.5 hours. The next morning before we did, I went to clinic. I went to see him. When I got there, he was doing it, and I hugged him. And the next visit, I said to the doctor, "This man I operated on said 6 weeks after you had left, he had gone back to work."
He listened to you?
Because he listened to. Okay. And then another place we used to go to is Cape Coast. Once every month, 2 of us, we used to alternate. A little child with a broken elbow was brought in on a Thursday. He was seen by a doctor, I believe. They said, no, you go home, come the next day, because, and he shouldn't have been sent home. The next day, when I got there, I was looking for the one who gave instruction for him to be taken. I never, since 1916, 10 years now. When
2016.
2016, there was the one who started Operation Ghana Medical Mission called Kwasi. He and Bensi, and they died in an accident on one of those trips. So I took over. Each time we're going to go, I will write a letter to the chief transport officer, plus a copy to the. And 10 years ago, the minister wrote back to me and said, "We will find your own transport." We haven't been.
Wow.
Since. Yes. 10 years.
A lot needs to be done.
Well, I don't know. A lot has happened. We've had two medical institutions or universities opened in Accra, and there's another one in Cape Coast, another one in Tamale, another one in Ho. So there are about 4. Ho, Tamale,
Cape Coast.
And then the 2 in Accra.
Yeah. And then Cape Coast.
And Cape Coast.
Yes.
5.
5.
If we are unable to keep the vast majority, and the population has also, I don't know what the population was, let's say 50 years ago, but now I think, is it 30 to 35?
Yeah, about mid 30 million. Yeah.
We are the same size as the United Kingdom. They are 70 million. But without the Indians and the Pakistanis, the National Health Service in the United Kingdom would have collapsed right now.
That's correct.
Yes.
We need more doctors.
And we are losing our trained medical personnel. Not only that, now our teachers are also moving away to West Indies.
Yes.
Yes. And so we are losing by having this high degree of training.
You're losing out. Yes. I'm just curious. What's it like to lose a patient on the operating table?
Sorry.
What's it like to lose a patient on the operating table?
It has never happened to me, so I don't know.
You don't know about it?
No.
I must imagine that it must be quite devastating to lose somebody while you're doing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it must be.
Yeah. Is there an operation that you have done that remains unforgettable, that you will never forget it?
I told you about the one, the lady.
The lady.
I've only done it once.
Yes.
And the other operation I did, I removed her uterus in Adidome. I've never done it again.
When that happens, do you tell them that they don't have a uterus anymore?
Yes, I told her.
You told her?
If it had been now, she could have seen a law, I would have been taken to court.
Straight.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've removed my uterus without telling.
Yeah.
them.
And when you told her, what was her reaction?
She had already 3 children, so
Yeah. You may have
she said, it's my life versus the operation.
Yes. She was thinking, right, I guess.
Oh.
Is there a patient? So, do you still remember the remarkable patients? I mean, in terms of their recovery, or I mean, you talked about the person who kept flexing the fingers, the woman as well. Any other people who still stick in your mind?
Oh, look, there's a lady, I have known her for over 50 years. Was going to do her operation, I think on the thumb, under local anesthesia. Not local, we call it regional anesthesia.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, we'll either inject it, a solution, or I operate on it. But because you're suffering from diabetes, I will suggest operations. I've never seen her since then.
She took off.
She went. She went to one of the junior boys and they injected it. She's in Accra. So it's still there.
How do you get people to not fear being operated on?
Look, if you are not sensible, but if you can understand, there are options. And let me give you an example. A little 12-year-old boy, this was in England, he was doing his zip and it caught the foreskin. And
Oh no.
And the mommy brought the child to the hospital. So I said to her, well, look, madam, the best thing to do, I will give a local anesthesia and remove the foreskin from, but it will be a good thing to circumcise him. And she said, no circumcision, don't circumcise him.
Well, the zipper is was still connected to the foreskin?
Yes.
How did this case end?
Well, give a local anesthesia around,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Remove the zipper.
Zipper. And I said, should I have told her that
Maybe you should have just gone ahead, eh? But you may have been sued, oh. You may have been sued if you had taken off the foreskin without her permission.
Without their permission?
Yes. Although the foreskin doesn't belong to her, but still, it's her child.
Yes, I could have been sued.
Yes, could have been sued.
Yes, I could have.
Yeah. Have you ever cried because of a patient?
No.
You keep your emotions in check. Have you ever been operated upon?
Me?
Yes.
My leg got broken.
Okay.
No, my wrist. First in 49.
Mm-hmm.
This was in 53.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's talk now about your role as a teacher and a mentor. You've trained many of Ghana's orthopedic surgeons. What gives you the greatest pride as a teacher and a mentor?
Well, I'm still there. At least once a week, I'm with the students.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy it.
You enjoy it?
Passing. Let me give you an example. There is a plaster. I gave you an example of hip operations being started on an international scale, 1931.
Mm-hmm.
Strangely enough, there was a time when people, surgeons in the orthopedic department, were all old at Chimotan, and we all knew ourselves.
It's like a club.
One of us, three of them were senior to me. And one of them wanted to know how I approached the hip. So he came to the operating theater to observe. He came in, immediately I opened and I went into the hip joint. He thanked me and went back to the clinic. So when I finished operating, I went to him. I said, why didn't you scrub up to join me? He said, but you didn't ask me to scrub up. And when he was in Form 5, I was in Form 2. On one occasion, there was a man we were able to make, he had a cancerous growth of the bone marrow. And his younger brother, who was then in the United Kingdom, got to know about it. He came and he wanted his big brother to be taken. He was then in his late 50s. I was asked to accompany the patient, and the other fellow was asked to accompany the patient, which he did. When they got to Britain, he went to the hospital where the patient had been brought in. He went and explained, the circumstances leading to the complaints, diagnosis. And the Englishman's attitude was, what is it you want me to do which you haven't already done?
That's it.
He passed away, I think about 8 months later. The patient.
You think there's a confidence problem, like some patients don't have confidence in Ghanaian doctors, they think they may get better care abroad.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Where's that lack of confidence coming from? Where do you
I
think?
don't know. But this man, he's also gone away now. E.T. Mensah.
Mhm.
He built a hotel, and I think in part of East Legon, Agbogblosi. When he wasn't too well, he went to Britain. Atta Mills, the one, our president,
Former president.
when he had a problem, and the ENT surgeons made the diagnosis, and he went abroad. I think way back in the United Kingdom, there was a leader of the Labour Party called Hugh Gaitskell. I think it was his father who was a Czechoslovakian. He came to Britain, and he had a viral infection with fluid collecting around the heart. You needed somebody to tap that fluid. The Labour Party wanted him to send to the United States. Conservatives objected. Less than 2 weeks, he was dead. And Atta Mills, perhaps, he was also an old Achimota.
He was. He was.
When he got to Achimota, I had left.
Yes.
But
what will make people have more confidence in the health, in our doctors, our health system?
I don't know. But I think, for example, if I was asked to see somebody in Nachimota Hospital, I've forgotten that in the 80s, and when I went, I saw another patient with a lump in the tummy.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and told his parents, I said, go and take him out of the hospital. Because if the patient needs to be operated on, and perhaps the doctors in Achimota School are not surgeons, take him away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did they listen to you?
Yeah, they did. And
did they save the boy?
Mm.
They did. Thank God for that. What makes a good surgeon, Mr. Kuma?
What makes
a good surgeon?
Oh,
since you are training a lot of the surgeons,
when he listens to good advice.
Yes,
that's all.
Simple as that. What
cutting experience, you will get most of it.
Yes.
But for him to be able to take the right decision, it's another thing.
So good decision making.
Let me give you an example of a teacher and a housemaster of mine at Achimota School in Jamfi House. His name was Mr. Atifua. He became a registrar of now Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Another one was also called something. I've forgotten the first name of Bakwachi, Damfu Kwachi. Also big. Now, Atifua was brought into Kolebu, I think the beginning of the 90s, with a broken hip. And then we discovered he had cancer of the foreskin of the penis. When we finished his hip, we wanted him, his relatives took him to the United Kingdom. We've never heard.
Too many of stories.
Yeah. In my days in Achimota school, the Fantis, Ashantis, when we went to the bathroom, those who hadn't been circumcised, we mocked at them. And the next holidays, many of them will be circumcised before coming back. I don't know whether it still goes on.
Generally, now I think most people are circumcised. When I was at school, we didn't see anybody who had foreskin. Everybody was circumcised. Yeah. What is
Atefwa was the name.
Atefwa, the former registrar.
Atefwa.
Okay, Atefwa.
Atefwa.
What mistakes do young doctors commonly make?
I don't know.
What mistakes would you want them to avoid as doctors?
I believe that before you post a young doctor to a district hospital, he must have served under an experienced person in one of the big hospitals before being sent, so that you'll be able to handle the emergency situations.
Yeah.
Particularly, during childbirth. Obstetrics.
Yes.
Because our population has been growing and will continue to grow. And I believe when you've got these children educated, you must be able to provide healthcare facilities available.
Indeed. When was your last surgery?
Maybe in the early 20s.
Early 20s. So 2020. So did people know that? Did you know that was your last surgery?
No.
So what made you decide not to do another one again?
To go one.
What made you decide not to do one more? Because
no, because the younger ones should take over.
Okay.
They're not many of them, but at least they are able to cope with what is coming to them.
Right.
And also those that have passed through. I mean, Pando, I think we were the first person to be put there as an orthopedic surgeon. Pando.
Where's the furthest from Accra that you've performed a surgery within Ghana?
Sorry.
Where is the furthest? Have you done surgeries in, say, the northern parts of Ghana?
I have done one in Tamale.
Okay.
Not one, but more than one.
In Tamale.
We went there to Medical and Dental Council wanted us to go to Tamale and examine the accident center, see whether it's good enough to be able to produce products.
What makes for a good enough accident center?
Well, the tools we work with.
Okay, what kind of tools? I've never seen any of those tools before. I'm curious.
The things that you use, the equipments, yes.
What would these be? Scalpels, things like that?
Scalpels and hip replacement.
Okay.
Yes, mostly that way.
I'm curious though. So, what material are the hip replacements made of? Are they metal?
Metals.
So if you go through customs, will it beep?
Will it?
If you go through immigration at the airport, will it beep? Because the metal detectors?
I don't know. See, but there is a whole system where the newly curated equipments are kept in Tama.
Okay.
Tama. I used to, when I was alone, I used to go to Tama every other month, not knowing even the journey from Kolebu to there, I had to be paid for. I didn't know.
Wow, everything was coming out of your own pocket.
Of course.
Wow. Then you were only one. Now how many orthopedic surgeons does Ghana have?
Ghana, I don't know.
How about Kolebu?
Kolebu, we've got at least 2 employed by the Ministry of Medical School, and then 4 others by the Ministry of. So there are about 6 of them.
Is it adequate?
Well, I wouldn't say it's adequate, but they can cope with the. I mean, 37 military hospital takes. Kumasi has also got a place for their training. They've got some orthopedic surgeons there. I don't know about Cape Coast. And I don't know about who. I don't know. But at least we've got about 7 or 8 postgraduates wanting to do orthopedics in the country, at least in Kolebu.
Yeah. So we need still to produce some more.
Yes.
Definitely.
But we must not just produce them, we must the country must be able to keep the majority of them.
To keep them here.
Yes.
So that no Middle East dreams come up again. Were you keeping count of the number of surgeries that you did? Were you keeping count? Were you keeping count of the number of surgeries that you did?
No.
But on average, I mean, roughly, how many do you think you've done in your career?
Simple things like wrist injuries, I don't count them, but hips and then lumbar spine, not many.
When was your first operation? What year?
This must have been in the United Kingdom.
Okay. So in the 50s?
And this is
62. That's what, 60 odd years ago?
That was when I started wearing the bow tie.
There's a reason for it?
Yes. You go there for 6 months as a house officer. The late Dr. Konoti Ahuno was also in that hospital. Another person called Chinri, also he's passed away also. And I was the third one. And there were 7 of us. And out of the 7, only 2 were British born. The remaining 5 were foreigners.
And then why did you start wearing the bow ties? Why did you start wearing bow ties?
Once every 6 months, the hospital will go take you to a dinner. Once every. And as we went to the dinner, our flying time went into the soup. Okay. So from that day onwards,
You performed the surgery on the flight time. So now there's no way it's going to go into your soup again.
No, this one cannot go into the soup.
How many bow ties do you have? How many bow ties do you have?
I don't know. I have more than 10.
Favorite color?
Different colors.
Which is your favorite color? Which would be your favorite color?
I don't know a favorite color,
Okay.
but I have one, this one, yellowish. I have one red with white spots, and then I have another one black with white spots. And
yeah, it fits you. You look smart. And there are no soup there. You've eliminated any soup accidents permanently.
No.
Permanently. Outside of medicine, what hobbies what keeps your mind engaged when you're not teaching and mentoring your students?
I can't answer that question.
Is it illegal? Is it something that people don't want to know?
No. I watch the television.
Oh, your TV. Sports?
Yes.
Who do you think will win the World Cup?
I don't know, but I'm not suggesting. I personally would want to see France win.
Why?
Because of Kylian Mbappe.
You like him?
Yes. Because he played for France, I think when he was 18.
Yes, very young.
Yes. Well, he's still under 30.
Yes, he's in his mid-20s now, I think.
I don't know where I think his mother is French. I don't know where his father.
His father's Cameroonian.
Cameroon. I see.
The mother, I think, is somewhere in Morocco. I think Morocco, Sahrawi, or one of those areas, some northern African country. Yeah, but I know his father is Cameroonian because the Cameroonians made an approach to him earlier on.
Oh, I see.
Turned them down for France. Yeah. So Mbappe is your star.
Well, yes, I think, and he looks humble too.
You still follow athletics? You were a runner back when you were in school.
Who?
You follow athletics these days?
It was Hitler who discouraged me from, 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin. Jesse Owens, a black American, he had won the 100 meters, the 200 meters, and he was also competing in the long jump.
Yes.
And a German athlete was leading in the long jump. And Jesse Owens, I think his last but one jump, overtook the German.
Yes.
Hitler walked out of the stadium. And I remember that there.
Yeah, there is Aryan supremacy theories and all that stuff. Yeah.
And in 1966, when I was then back home, when England was organizing the World
Cup.
There were two soccer players, Pele and Eusebio. Eusebio from Portugal,
yeah.
And Pele from Britain.
Brazil.
And after they had been injured, looked quite clear that the injuries had been planned.
Strategic injuries.
Exactly. England won the
against Germany.
Yeah,
Against Germany. Yeah, those are the days.
I don't know who is going to win this time.
But you'd love Mbappe's team to win.
Yes.
Okay. So his mom is Algerian, actually. His mother is of Algerian descent. Mbappe.
Oh, I see.
But the father is Cameroonian. Yeah. On the Ghanaian scene, do you support any football club?
I remember Accra Great Olympics was, I think, formed in 1954. something like that. From Accra Great Olympics, from Stanford. I remember also that our soccer players started wearing boots, I think in 1950. But British soccer players, no. Yes. There was a Ghanaian way back in 1834 who was good enough in soccer, but the group board selecting players said, no. He says, an African, we don't want.
Is that Arthur Wharton?
Yes.
Yes, Arthur Wharton. Yeah.
So they didn't put him in the team.
No,
because he was black.
racism everywhere.
We had not a similar, but we had a problem. If you look at our currency, Pauli,
Yes.
his son, he had a son, whose mother was British. He was having difficulties. He was I think it was about 2 years junior to me, having difficulties in Britain. So his father brought him home to Achimota. He came and joined Achimota. And Accra Academy hadn't moved to where they are now.
Indeed.
They were in Jamestown.
Yes.
And each book which was recommended we could get in Achimota within 3 weeks. And Bernhardt was his name. Was stealing he got the key to the bookshop, was stealing the books and selling them. And eventually he was caught. And the headmaster, instead of sacking him, gave him a few lashes, and that was the end of it. Bernhardt, he died about 4 or 5 years ago. Bernhardt, as Pauli's son.
So would I be correct in saying that you're an Olidade fan? Accra Great Olympics?
No.
You don't support any team in Ghana?
No. If anything to support at all, to be House of Hook.
House of Hook. Phobia. Was your dad a big football fan?
No.
He wasn't. Indeed.
What hurts me is the younger ones being attracted to the United Kingdom and to the other parts of Europe. And they go to school and they are good sportsmen, and that's the end of it. My youngest son is in Britain. He was born there.
Yeah. The attraction.
His eldest son has gone to university.
Did you ever watch any live games in the UK? Football games?
I don't know.
Did you watch Did you go to the stadium?
No.
Never. How about
no. I
did?
I went to the White House.
White Hart Lane?
What? No. A sports stadium.
To watch a game?
Yes. No, athletics.
Okay, but not football?
No.
Okay. How about in Ghana? Have you watched any football games live before?
Oh, yeah. Oh. I was... for a period of about 8 years, Kasanjani, and he was a doctor. They were responsible. I was the doctor of the sports stadium.
Oh.
Yes.
Accra?
Accra, yes.
So you were like the doctor?
Exactly.
Okay. Were your services ever required during a game?
No.
Or after a game?
During a game.
Okay.
But
you were there on standby?
Standby.
We are gradually coming to the end of this conversation. I just want a couple of quick questions I want to ask you. Of all your many achievements, which gives you the greatest satisfaction?
I said the lady I operated on her hip. 18 months later, she brought me a baby. She said my pain has disappeared.
And here's the baby.
And I've never seen her since.
Wow. You still get patients calling you to ask about you?
No.
Was that happening when you were practicing earlier? I mean, when you were operating, when you were younger, you'd have people call you to say thank you?
Yes.
Mm.
I remember running into a young man. I had operated on his femoral shaft.
Mhm.
And he saw me in, what do you call this?
A place in Accra?
A shop
Okay.
near Dankwa.
Kuala?
Kuala. A young man, I was going to my car, a young man came and saluted me. And he gave me, no, this is more than 30 years ago. Someone. I said, what's it for? He said, you operated on my. I said, is it still, metal still there? He said, he had it removed.
He had it removed.
In Kumasi. I said, fine, let's go. But he gave me money.
Yeah, because
I operated on him.
Yeah, yeah. Is there any recognition that means a lot to you?
Well, I think as a country we must maintain, or at least make an effort to maintain, the majority of our products in the country.
Yeah, you've said this time without number. Let's keep them here. Any regrets you have?
Yes.
What are your regrets?
For the politicians looking after themselves and not looking after us.
Yeah. We should fly away to get treatment instead of fixing it for all of us here.
Those who went to Britain to do A, B, C, and D, they were acknowledged. And
has the medical establishment acknowledged your contribution? I mean, when you were the Lone Ranger for 7 years, have they? No. That's a big oversight there. Yeah. I mean, you held the fort when you could have gone.
yes.
Yes.
No, I was going to go away for. Immediately I passed my exam. This is 74. Silas Dudu was then dean, and Professor Bedu was then head of department. They wrote Bedu wrote, Silas signed. He said, we just want you to be examined by a doctor to say you are fit.
That's it.
That's it. What conditions of service? No.
That's just.
I mean, Silas himself.
Yeah.
They had complained to me about a chest problem. I examined him, x-rayed him, and I found something wrong with one rib. And I said, this is a harmless lump.
So
there's no point in operating on it. A few, 2-3 years later, he came with Bedu. Bedu and Silas were, I think Bedu was 1 year senior to Silas in Achimota School. And Silas had gone to the United States and to Britain to visit his daughters. And he went to Britain, he was complaining, went to his hospital where he was taught. And the doctor there saw the x-ray. He said, I agree with the doctor in Kolebu who says, this is harmless. But because you're complaining, I will operate on it. He did. So when he got back, he went and told Bedu, and so they came to my office to tell me this was. And Silas didn't want me to insult him.
No.
In the presence of, he was then dean.
Yes.
And
Did you want to insult him though?
No, I wouldn't have insulted him. It was his father who conferred me at Osu.
Okay. I've just been admiring the way you're able to locate specific data. Let me say it was a Wednesday or a Friday. Is that a secret to this remarkable memory that you have?
No.
And I've spoken to other people who were born in the 30s, and they all have this good memory. They all have great memories. These people who were born in the 30s. Yes, this must be something that you are doing or not doing that. It doesn't feel remarkable. Do people comment on your memory?
No.
Because it's remarkable. I'm sure my people who are watching are wondering, what's the secret? Do you have like a routine that you do every day these days?
No.
No? What do you do for exercise? What do you do for exercise?
Exercise?
Yes.
I don't, nothing in particular.
Is there food that you will not eat?
No.
You eat everything?
When I go to the guest house, I know what to eat on a Monday, on a Tuesday. If I go there, these days I don't go on a Wednesday, but on a daily basis, I know what dish.
Were you there on Friday?
Yes.
What did you eat?
No, this is Friday. But normally I will eat fish and chips.
On Fridays?
Yes.
How about Mondays?
Wachi. Tuesdays, fufu.
With what kind of soup?
Light soup.
And the protein?
Fish.
You go there on Wednesdays?
Not regularly, but
what's the Wednesday?
You know every day I eat fish.
Ah, so you're a fisherman. Maybe that's the secret. Maybe fish is the secret and not meat.
If I had a late breakfast, the fish which is fried, I will bring home.
Why?
Because there's too much to eat. So the fried fish,
you bring it home. Before we go, when your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren ask you, Grandpa, what do you do for Ghana? What will be your response to them?
I haven't got great-grandchildren. I've got grandchildren.
Grandchildren, okay. So if they ask you that question, what would you tell them?
I want the politicians to put education first.
Okay.
Every child must go to school, provided the schools. Secondly, healthcare. That is the training of doctors, dentists, nurses, midwives. Then third one, agriculture, so that we have enough to eat. So the rest can follow.
Education,
healthcare, agriculture.
Is there anything else you want to say that you haven't yet said? Because we're coming to the end of the conversation.
You remember Lieutenant General Ankra?
Yes.
That's the Kotoka and Afrifa school, which brought General Ankra. He had a knee problem. We call it valrus. Needed to be operation. He was seen by Dr. Kumi and referred to me. And I went to his house near Nima Hospital. And I was talking him out of going to Britain. And if you know our system, our habits, when I go get When I got there, we bring a bottle of whiskey.
Yes.
And if you don't drink it, you're insulting him.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there on 3 occasions separately. I think 6 weeks. And I always drove back home drunk. And I stopped.
That's it.
Mm.
Do you still drink alcohol though?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Not regularly.
Not regularly. What do you prefer, beer or wine?
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
A red one.
A particular brand?
A red label.
Red Label. Johnny Walker.
You drink whiskey too?
Rarely. I can't tell the difference, but and people can tell that this is black, this is green. Can you?
Black Label is black. The whiskey looks black. Red Label whiskey looks red.
Oh, it's a color thing.
Yes.
But there's Blue Label too.
Mm?
There's Blue Label and there's Green Label.
Mm.
Finally, Mr. Kuma, who would you recommend that I interview next? Maybe somebody from your field or anywhere. Who would you recommend that I have a chat with, just like I've just finished chatting with you, to tell their life story?
I would suggest this. It's also another old Chimbotan. He travels to the United States, I think about 3 times in a year. His wife is a doctor. They've got 2 children. And the wife has been stuck in the United States because of A, B, C, D, if you see what I mean, facilities.
Mm-hmm.
And he is here alone. There's an old Hashimotan called Akwesi Oklu.
Akwesi Oklu. What field of work does he do?
Orthopaedics.
Oh, just like you. Mr. Oklu. I'll look for him. Ms. Kuma, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It's been a fascinating conversation. And I hope you've enjoyed the conversation I've had with Mr. Bernhardt Ago Sowa Kuma, one of Ghana's greatest medical pioneers and revered as father of orthopedics in Ghana. If you've enjoyed the conversation, let's meet in the comments. Thank you very much. My name is Kafui Dey. Kafui Dey.
Dey?
Yes, sir.
Wait, do you know Kojo Dey, the doctor?
No.
Surgeon at the military hospital?
No. Could be a relative, but I don't know him. I don't know him. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you. When I was in I think I was in Form 5 when he came to Form 1.
Oh, okay. He's a doctor.
A doctor.
Okay.
A surgeon.
Mm.
General surgeon.
Ah. Nice. Well, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Yes. Maybe the next time you're having Wache at the Dean's guest house, I'll pop in and sit down with you. Thank you.
Pleasure.